Hey everyone, this is Aastha's Makeup Closet. Welcome to a new episode. Today we are going to be looking at some of the best, or rather my top 10 neutral eyeshadow palettes, which are great for everyday use, which are great for a lot of other, a lot of people of color, people of fair, of light, medium, and deeper skin tones. So I just thought, it would be nice to show you some of the slightly high-end ones. And so they're not really drugstore, but most of them are available in India. But just to show you a variety of neutral eyeshadow, so that you could probably, make an informed decision before you go and get one, because it happens to be a staple in everybody's makeup closet. So before we get into the video, I'd like to request you to please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you are informed of all upcoming videos. So the first eyeshadow palette that we have is from Shiseido. These are their slim eyeshadow palettes, which are excellent for travel and just to put something in your purse. If you just on the go. It's called the Kotto Street Vintage number 5. It's the Essentialist eye palette, and it's a beautiful neutral eye palette. So here you go, and you can see that we've got two mattes in this, and we've got two satin shadows. There are no shimmers really, and it's a beautiful combination. So you have a transition shade, you have a highlighting shade, you have a deeper corner, as well as a lid topper. So these are perfect shades for everyday wear, and excellent for meetings or anybody who's on the go and who needs a quick eye look. And frankly speaking, the first time I bought this, I went to the loo at the mall and I quickly did my eye, just with my fingers, and it was perfect. These are super blendable, and they're amazing. This is available at Sephora, so you could probably have a look. On to the next one. The next eyeshadow palette we have is the Pretty Cool eyeshadow palette from Dose of Colors. It's a cool toned eyeshadow palette. There are 5 eyeshadows in this, and it's fantastic for people who like cooler toned eyeshadows, who prefer an all matte eyeshadow palette. There are no shimmery or satin shades in this. And I personally love this, because I love cool colors. So anyone who's cool toned or has a slightly pinker tone to their skin, this looks fantastic. I would recommend this for people with light to medium skin Beauty Bay. It's not available at any stores in India, so you could probably call for it from there. But Dose of Color shadows, the pigmentation is fantastic. They are, superb when it comes to blendability, as well as the quality. So on to the next one. The next eyeshadow quad that I have is from Chanel. It's one of my favorites. Sorry. There you go. So as you can see, these are 4 shimmer shadows. Not even shimmer really, they're baked shadows, so they have a beautiful sheen. And these are super versatile. I wouldn't recommend using them by themselves, but I would suggest that if you want an eyeshadow quad that has these beautiful gold and neutral skin tones, as a lid topper or as a way to enhance your other eyeshadow palettes, then I feel that this is one of the best quads that you can go for from Chanel. The quality is, I'm not even going to comment on that because it's so fantastic, and the sheen is out of the world. So have a look at this if you like anything shimmery or a little pop of color. On to the next one. The next eyeshadow palette I have is the Huda Beauty Nude Medium palette. So she came out with 3 nude palettes. One was for lighter skin tones, one was for medium, and one was for deep. I would love to have the deep one as well. I don't have it with me right now, but the medium skin tone is fantastic. The light one is actually, I felt, was a repeat of the Huda New Nude Obsessions. So New Nude palette, sorry. So this is what the shadow palette looks like. It's got some really lovely peachy toned neutrals. It's got some lovely old rose, dusky rose pinks as lid toppers, or as colors to enhance the lid space, or just to highlight with. It's got a beautiful, about 2 or 3 transition shades. It's got a great brown, it's like a nice reddish peachy brown for, uh, the outer corner, just to deepen up the outer corner. So, all in all, I feel if you get this palette, it's not available in India currently, so you can just order it directly from hudabeauty.com. And if you get this, I don't think there's any other palette that you need to get. This is just, a 9 pan fantastic palette, and it's a standalone palette. You don't need you know, an extra palette or, like a accompanying palette with this. It's just fantastic. So the next eyeshadow palette we have is the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions. These are the jewel toned eyeshadow palettes that she'd come up with, and I particularly like this one for the fact that, it's got some lovely neutral shades, as well as which is like a nice sunset yellow right here. And it's just overall a fantastic palette. Excellent inner corner highlight. And if you want to go in for a matte highlight, you got that as well. Lovely transition shades and to deepen up the outer corner. And these are great lid toppers. So overall, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes, and it's got 4 shimmers. Actually 2 shimmers and 2 metallics. So this, I would suggest, is something that would be fantastic for people who want a slightly brighter look, not necessarily completely neutral, but the shadow quality and everything is fantastic. These are available at Nykaa India, so you could probably have a look at this. The next palette that I have is also a 9 pan palette. It's by Colourpop. I had it shipped directly from the Colourpop website in the US. It's called the Going Coconuts eyeshadow palette. It's one of the most amazing neutral palettes that you can ever see or think of, really. What can I say? It's got the perfect neutral shades. They're not very cool toned, they're not very warm toned, they're just perfectly neutral. So anyone who loves neutral tones, or who loves anything that's not very warm or not very cool when it comes to color tones, and these are like the perfect shades to enhance your eyes. And we've got one matte with a little sequin shimmer kind of an effect, and we've got 3 shimmer shades, the metallics, and we've got this one also has a little bit of that sequin finish, and the others are all mattes. And fantastic. Everybody knows Colourpop has fantastic quality. So this is also a standalone palette. You don't need an accompanying palette with this. So if you're coming down from the US or you want to ship it to India, it's very easy. Just place an order on the website. 15 days later, you have your package. So Colourpop, way to go. On to the next one that I have is from Stila. It's their matte and metal eyeshadow palette. This I bought from Sephora in India. It's a fantastic eyeshadow palette. It's got some really nice dusky pinks and some lovely neutrals here. So the first 6 shades on top are matte, and the bottom 6 shades are metallics. There are no shimmer shades in this. It's personally, I feel it's a very versatile palette. Again, a standalone palette. You don't need an accompanying palette with this. It's just one of those, like you can wear it for a multitude of looks. Like you can create a multitude of looks with this palette. Especially if you're into the dusky rose or the slight pinks, so this entire row. And plus this palette is super easy to use. What you can do is, if you're a beginner with eyeshadows and you don't really know where to go and what shades to pick, you can go row wise. So you can go like that. So if you want like a warmer look, you can go here. If you want a cooler look, you can take this row, and if you want a slightly dusky row, pinkish look, then you can take this row. So it's a very, very versatile and a very easy to use eyeshadow palette. So the next shadow palette I have is from Sephora. It's a Sephora palette. It's the palette to take away, Intense Coffee Collection. I particularly like this shadow palette because one, it looks like a book, kind of shuts like an old diary or so. And secondly, it has a brush and a mirror. And thirdly, the coffee tones in this palette are fantastic. So you've got some shivers, you've got some, nice reddish, like a brick brown or so. a nice coffee tone, like a pure coffee tone here, and we've got some lovely lid toppers as well as highlighting shades. So again, another standalone palette, excellent job by Sephora, and the quality is fantastic. The shadows are like butter and they blend really well. So if you want to go in for something like this, you can totally have a look. I'm not sure if this has been discontinued or not, but you must check it out at the Sephora website. I have a feeling they still have it. So this is fantastic again. The next shadow palette I have is the new nude eyeshadow palette by Huda Beauty. This is one of the first, not one of the first, I think this is the first eyeshadow palette I bought from Huda Beauty when it was launched in India on Nykaa. And it's a beautiful eyeshadow palette with, some really lovely neutral tones here, some pops of color like a pink and a purple there, and some dusky old rose, and peachy tones, as well as it's got some really lovely, it's got two pressed glitters here. I don't quite like the formula of those, but if you want to use them, make sure that you use them with the glitter glue. And I love these metallics, especially the ones that you see with the little, hints of like chunks of little glitter and stuff. But when you put it on the lid, it kind of all mixes up and looks fantastic. It also has this little eyeshadow topper for the eyes, more like a concealer thing, so if you want to go in for that, great. Mostly I don't like to use it. I like to use my own eyeshadow primers. All in all, a beautiful palette. This shade here, Teddy, is one of the most versatile crease shades, transition shades that I've ever used. I love this palette, and again, very versatile, can be used for parties, can be used for everyday looks. So definitely go in for this. So this is the last eyeshadow palette, but not the least. It's Pixi by Petra. The eyeshadow palette's called Eye Reflection Shadow Palette Natural Beauty. And it's a cool toned eyeshadow palette with a few mattes and a few shimmers. This is what it looks like. Pixi eyeshadows are fantastic. This is a new launch at Sephora, so it's still available. And it's got some beautiful, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shimmer shades, and it's got a couple of satins. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shimmer shades and a couple of satins in there, and some mattes also. So it's a very versatile palette. It's in a strong plastic packaging, so you can travel with it very easily. And these are sturdy shadows and larger pans. So this would last you forever, and it's a beautiful standalone palette to have. I would definitely recommend this, and do have a look. These are lovely to swatch as well. So that pretty much concludes the my top 10 neutral eyeshadow palette video. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed the video. I'm sorry I'm not showing my face today and just showing you the palettes, because I just felt that these are what mattered. And I hope there's I was of some help to make you help you make an informed decision for the best neutral eyeshadow palettes that you could go for. And these are my top 10. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. That would really help me out. And see you in the next one. Have a good day. Stay safe, and see you. Bye bye.